Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Yesterday, October 3rd was a Saturday and I was working with my provider Erica. We went to Roloff Farms near Hillsboro, Oregon. It was about 30 minutes away from where I live and it was such a milestone bucket list experience I witnessed with her. It is based off a TV show and they film the life. It's about little people and how they adapt to change, and they have a big following system that people follow on YouTube, and it's a TV show and it's been happening for a long time. Erica went 11 years ago when she was 21 with her dad, and she got a picture with one of the stars on the show. And this is a family reality TV show, but they talked about their tourism, and they just talked about how they have to live and adapt to everyday changes. And I am going to show you everything I did there. So first, she picked me up at 8:45 a.m. We had to reserve a time slot 3 weeks ago, and we prepared and we paid for it ahead of time. So I paid Erica, and then she bought the tickets, and then we had a time between 10 a.m. and 12, and we stayed for an hour and 10 minutes. But anyways, we booked the tickets, and then I was watching the TV show a little bit before I left to go to the farm before our adventure started. So on Friday night, I watched the TV show, and then Saturday, we went to the farm together so I could get an idea of who they are and everything, and just have a visual picture in my head. Then we were talking about the farm in the car and how that she went there and COVID, we had to wear a face mask and be separate from everyone else. And we arrived at the farm at 9:20 a.m. and we parked in like a parking lot, and then we had to wait for a little bit. And the dad was actually, of this TV show, was actually driving his golf cart, and I didn't know it was a big deal. I just thought, oh, he was documenting their life and whatever. And when we checked in to park, the ticket guy who was checking the tickets, he said that it's filming day. So they were filming the family for the TV show, and then me and Erica had to sign release forms to be able, or to have an opportunity to be on the TV show. They decided to film us, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like squealing, I was hyperventilating, I was just like over the moon excited. I was like, what? I didn't know that they were filming. I thought it was like done with, but no, it's still producing as a TV show. And we both signed and read through the agreement, and then we saw the dad, and we waited in the car for like 30 minutes, and I was like I couldn't contain myself. I was like squealing so badly. And then Erica wanted to call Jenny, my other provider, her mom, and it was just like she didn't know what was happening. I was like in the middle of a squealing phase, and Jenny was like, okay. I'm like, I can't wait to hear how it goes, and that you're going to be on TV, and that you have to sign the release form. She was so excited about it, but I was like so excited. And then we went to the farm parking lot. We checked in, and it was like a little tent booth, so the lady checked our tickets, and then it was a self-guided tour of like the farm, and then we saw some goats and some pigs, and then it was a nice area to see the views and see where they live and stuff. And then by the end, there was a store, so I got a magnet, I got 3 pumpkins and 2 sweatshirts, and it was $70 that I spent on my souvenirs and the pumpkins, and then the ticket was $15. So I spent $85 on this fantastic day, which was meant to be. So I'm glad I have my sweatshirts for my sweatshirt collection, and I can put this on my fridge down in the basement just to say that I went here. So I was so happy that I got my souvenirs, and It was a really cool area. There was one part of the tour that it was like air guns, or like air guns with like tennis ball shoots, and Erica supported me so well because she knows that I get freaked out when it's like very noisy and stuff, and it was like unpredictable. So every time it went off, I was like, I was like, so even I jumped. I was like, ah! I was like, it was like every time, even when I looked at the cannonball shooting thing, it made me jump. And it was nice that Erica was there to help me and said, you can cover your ears, we can just walk past it slowly and go around it. And I didn't know it was a thing, but people had to pay to shoot it. But it was nice to see, and to see the farm animals. It was such a nice day out. We took pictures, and it was amazing. We saw the family, so we saw the dad and the mom and the kids, the grandkids. It was so fun, and they were just doing their own thing, and it was just so fun. And then we went to the pumpkin patch, and I got 13 pounds of pumpkins, and there was 3 pumpkins, and it was such a good deal. $7 for 3 tiny pumpkins. It was such a good deal. And now it's on my front porch as decoration. So we did that, and it was just a fun experience. I was so glad I got to witness this with my provider, Erica, and she really helped me during this day because there was a lot of sensory input I couldn't deal with. It was kind of impossible to function if I was going to go alone, but I'm glad I had support to help me manage my emotions, just helping me calm down and just have someone with me so I didn't have to feel like left out, or I didn't have to know what to not to do. It was just like very easy to go with someone that works with me closely, and she understands that my senses are very bad right now because of my sensory processing disorder, especially with the gun shoot thing. And it was crowded, so I tried to be next to her because I don't do well in crowds. And they only let a certain number of people during the time slots, but again, it was still crowded, and everyone did wear a mask besides babies and little kids. But for the most part, it was required to wear a face mask, and I was fine. It was the longest time I wore a face mask in a day, and I brought my disposable face mask because I wanted it lightweight and it was breathable, so I had no problems wearing that. And then same with a pumpkin patch, you had to wear a face mask, and it was just a nice day. And I'm glad that Erica was there because she went with me, and it was just a very cool experience to know that it's a little TV show that is happening, and we might be on TV next year. We don't know yet, but Erica might check in and follow them to see when the episode is going to release next year. So that was my crazy experience about that, but I'm again super excited that I went. It was worth the money, and I'm again happy that we went to this farm. It was my first time ever going to that farm either, so it was fun to watch them on YouTube and see the episodes, and we could see the camera crew follow us, and we had to take a picture of the sign when we did the release form saying we can get filmed. And Erica met one of the family members to get a picture by them, and so funny, but a camera crew came up to us, like behind us, and I was like, I was like taking a picture like this, and then Erica was with one of the members of the family, and by the time we did that and I took the picture, I was like, they just filmed us. I was like, ah. But I was like quiet. But in the car, I was like, I couldn't contain myself. I was like, I don't know how to control my excited emotion sometimes. And that's what I learned about myself yesterday, was I can't control my emotions. Like, I can verbalize how I feel, but sometimes my body just takes control over my emotions, and it's okay that it does that, but sometimes it's a bit too much for me and my provider. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like so happy. I felt like it was a adrenaline rush that went through my body, and I felt like that Oh, and then I was quiet when we got out of the car and stuff, but I was like, whoo, the preparation was just like, whoo, it's building up. I didn't know we were going to get filmed there. I didn't know that we were going to meet all the family members there. It was just like so shocking because sometimes most of the family members are busy during the weekend, but you could see them in real life and you could see the camera crew follow people around because they sign release forms. So it was such a cool experience. So big shout out to Erica helping me through this day. I really do appreciate her and everything that she does for me. And she was a big help because, again, my senses were in overdrive. I was in overload. I was like, ah! The inside of me was like that the whole time. And then just in the car ride home, I was like, we just did that. That was so amazing. We got souvenirs. We stopped at a nature park and we hung out there for like an hour and then we headed back home. But that was my day and it was just a great day, a big milestone that I didn't know would ever happen. And it was such a unreal and incredible experience. I couldn't understand it, and it was hard to process when we arrived to the farm, and that is why I was like screaming and yelling and squealing and like I was like, I don't know, like my body like can't really process like situations fast. Like it takes a long time for me to process like this is actually happening. We're gonna get filmed and we sign release forms and I got a picture with the mom. She was on the farm, so I got a picture of the mom. Erica got a picture with the mom and it was so nice to capture my life on film as right now and taking photos of the day. And Erica got some souvenirs too, and she got at least 50 pounds of pumpkins in her car too. So we both had a fun time, and I'm sure I'll be going back to farms again in October. I love the season. There was no pumpkin bread, but I'm gonna get pumpkin bread later on during this season. But it was such a fun day. So thank you guys so much for watching, and that was my day. Have a great day, everyone.